Hey everyone, welcome to Reddit Readout. Today we are checking out Confession. Story 1. I exaggerated my daughter's symptoms so the doctors would do tests. I want to start by saying I don't not have Munchausen syndrome. I love my kids and I don't want them to be sick. Anyways, my daughter started having episodes of breath holding, abnormal eye movements, and lethargic type symptoms after these episodes. The first time it happened I took her in and truthfully told them what happened. I was told it's probably breath holding spells. It's pretty scary for new moms and we were sent home. The diagnosis didn't sit right with me. Over the course of a month the episodes were more frequent. Happening every day, multiple times a day. She had an episode where it lasted 2 minutes. So I took her to the ER, exaggerated the symptoms and they did additional tests, 24-hour EEG and MRI. The tests confirmed that she in fact has epilepsy, not breath-holding spells. Story 2. I stole beer and wine constantly when I was younger. Being from the US, I couldn't buy alcohol before I was 21. So I would steal it. I realize lots of people did this. Still, I feel kind of bad. My friends and I would walk in, grab 2 racks, and walk out. It was especially easy during summer holidays when grocery stores would place a ton of beer stacked right by the entrance. Never understood the logic there. One time a manager caught us and kind of chased us out. Couldn't go back there for a while. During winter we had a different plan. My friend and I called it big jacket season because it was normal to wear big jackets cause it was cold. We would wear our snowboarding jackets which had giant pockets in them. We'd go to the wine aisle and each take a bottle or two. We started with normal size 750 ml but then realized we could fit the 1.5 L bottles. We did this probably like 3 winters. It'd how many bottles we stole. We probably did this at least 15 to 20 times each winter, maybe more, long winters here, and we had a bit of a drug and alcohol problem over those 3 years. So between the two of us, I guess at least 90 to 120 bottles in total. I'm not sure why, but we'd steal the cheapest shit. It's why we didn't steal expensive stuff, it's not like we were paying for it. Maybe subconsciously we thought it was less bad karma, idk. We'd also steal tall cans of malt liquor, Steel Reserve, Old English, etc. Again it's why we stole that nasty ass shit. I have mixed feelings about it. I'd be lying if I said I didn't really enjoy it at the time. But I often feel bad not just for stealing, but for the fact that I was the type of person that would do that. At least I'm an adult now and don't do that stuff anymore. Story 3. I lied to my friend of 6 to 7 years and pretended to be my mom. So today we were talking about our 5th grade experience, and he brought up the fact that people thought we were dating, which isn't true. And I told him they actually thought we were siblings cause even my mom said so. I figured that this was a weird way to start up a conversation, so I asked him to get to the main point of what he was trying to say. I knew what he was going to say but I wanted to see it. We were texting. Then he finally asked the question, "Can we date?" Now let me fill you guys in on my day and why I answered the way I answered. Today I'm on my menstrual cycle and I was going through different emotions. I was crying, laughing, beating myself up and everything. So when he said that I thought, well, I always wanted to date someone, just never thought I would be wanting to date him. So obviously I said yes, but an hour later I regretted my decision and I texted him saying my mom doesn't want me dating anyone since I've been misbehaving and she's next to me as I type this. We can't date till I'm in my senior year because she doesn't want me to make the wrong decision. I'm sorry for ruining your night. Obviously I felt sorry that I did that since his response was drier than usual. But I pretended to be my mom and also said hello, this is _________s mom. I'm sorry to break you guys up on the first night but I just don't want her to make the wrong mistake and end up like me. Hope you have a good night. I don't know what to do now but I guess I'll have to wait till senior year to see. Story 4. I don't put my phone in airplane mode when traveling on a plane. I'm on a plane right now. Story 5. I threw up on the carpet on purpose and never told my dad. So one time when I was like 6 I had to throw up. Now, my dad was on the computer and I was standing by him in the carpeted family room. When the nausea took over me, my little 6-year-old brain said, "Wouldn't it be cool if we threw up on the carpet?" So without even trying to get to the bathroom I waited, and waited, until I vomited right on the carpet. I felt bad because my dad had to clean it up and the guilt still gnaws at me to this day. Of course, my dad was very upset and I never told him I did that on purpose. Story 6. I used to steal from grocery stores I'm stopping today. I used to indulge in small thefts like grabbing a drink or some gum, or even buying flowers for a girl without paying for them. But today, I got caught, and the feeling of shame and regret is overwhelming. While I've felt guilty before, this time it's much worse. It's not easy to resist the temptation when stealing seems so effortless, but I know it's time to stop. In the past, I convinced myself that it was okay because I would treat myself to a healthier breakfast or other things, but I see now that it was just a justification. I am reaching out here to share my struggle because I know I am not alone. Thank you for listening to my confession. Story 7. I throw out my roommate's dishes when she leaves them for me to clean. My roommate and I have been living together for like 6 years now. We were really close friends as teenagers and continued to be into adulthood. Our personalities work really well together, but as we've gotten older she's become pretty lazy and stopped doing any housework at all whatsoever. When we moved into our most recent apartment, I suggested that we get paper utensils and plates since we both work a lot and I didn't want the workload of the apartment to get to be too much for us. I really meant me, as I'm the only one doing anything. She didn't listen and insisted on buying this set of like $200 plates/bowls. Long story short, whenever she leaves her dirty dishes in the sink for longer than 2 days, I just throw them in the dumpster. I am not being a maid to a grown-ass woman, especially considering I work more than her. I will not be renewing this lease, but I do feel kind of bad that good quality dishes are getting thrown out. Story 8. I stole and drank alcohol from my grandparents while underage. I, 17M, came home late from a weekend extracurricular at my school. I had been in a kind of bad mood just from being restless and feeling like I didn't have much to do last night specifically, but still wanted to be at the activity with my friends. I was also feeling pretty isolated socially specifically at the time, so this contributed to my bad mood. On my way home, I started wanting to get my hands on something alcoholic, just to try. I am not an alcoholic, I have only drunk alcohol a couple of times in my life, and I am not a big party animal kid. It also occurred to me that this would be quite easy for me to do by stealing a can of beer from my grandparents' fridge, who live with my immediate family, because nobody would notice it would be missing and it would be easy to sneak out. So once I got home, I immediately told my parents I wanted to go back out for a walk to get some fresh air, went downstairs and took a can of beer, and walked outside with the cab tucked into my sweatshirt pocket. I ended up waking along a little nature trail not far from my house as finished the can by the time I was almost back home and threw it away in a trash can on the street. Then I just went home, said I was going to bed, and went upstairs for the night. I haven't told anyone exactly what I did until now, and I feel like I need to get it off my chest. My problem is that I don't necessarily feel bad about it, because it didn't really adversely affect anyone else in the long run. A part of me thinks that I should feel bad, but I don't. I also do not want to go down the path of alcoholism, but I feel like I will not necessarily do that by drinking one beer one night. I still feel conflicted, however, about the fact that I was drinking alcohol underage alone because I was in a bad mood, any one of which sounds to me like a warning sign of irresponsible alcohol consumption. I do not necessarily plan on staying sober until I'm exactly 21, but again, I don't want to be an alcoholic. Story 9. I'm about to get caught for stealing food from the school canteen. I, 15F, have been stealing food from the canteen for the past year and haven't got caught. I steal food because my parents fail to give me money. Today one of the dinner lattice looked at me and I overheard her saying that's the one who's stealing. I'm freaking the fuck out. If I get suspended I'm done for. Advice? Edit, to clear some things up, I'm in the UK. My family are fairly well off but due to my parents caring about imagine I don't get food or snacks bought for me, they think I'll become fat/am too fat. They don't give me dinner money unless I ask. Generally I don't because they get mad at me for asking for money. Update, I told a teacher about it and about how concerned I was also a bit of a wreck, she said I shouldn't feel so guilty over such a small thing. She said don't tell my parents to avoid conflict but she's going to have to tell my head of year. I'm thinking a detention maybe? A phone call home perhaps? I'm gonna ask her politely to avoid that though. If future I'm just gonna get up early and have a big breakfast, uneasy face. Woo another update, any advice on what to say to my head of year to get in as little bother as possible and also keep my parents from getting shit? Thanks. Story 10. I stole well over $20,000 worth of goods from thrift stores. I worked at the popular Goodwill for just under a year as a donations receiver. I saw thousands of donations come in day to day for around 10 months. Just about every day I worked I stole more and more and more items to resell on eBay or Pinterest. Going from Louis Vuitton, Gucci, Supreme, etc. Even clothes brands like Tommy Hill, North Face, etc. Didn't matter what came through that door that I saw, if I thought it had value to it I snagged it. For 10 straight months full-time stealing from a thrift store. I ended up quitting that job before getting caught, and working at another common thrift store and repeating that exact process for well over a year. Never caught, still feel terrible to this day. Story 11. I hit a parked car left to go to the store to do something quickly and came back for the car to be gone so I left. 23. So I went to go return something and as I was going into the parking lot of the store, I swiped the corner of the car next to mine, leaving a mark. I panicked since I've never been in this situation before and I just didn't want to get in trouble. I left to go quickly return the item. I know that was super shitty thing to do rather than wait and super irresponsible. I came back not more than 5 minutes later for the car I hit to be gone. I then drove off and now I'm panicking and paranoid the cops are gonna come for me and throw me in jail. I feel horrible and I deserve whatever fines are coming to me. Story 12. I stole some things in late 2016 and I have to get it off my chest. I 12F stole something from my mom's friend at her old job 35 or 34F anyways I stole a toy at the time I was 6 or 5 but it was a toy car I still feel guilty to this very day if you have read it and you see this I'm so very sorry. That's all for today please don't forget to like and subscribe.